Then won't you just have to do it again for them?
No, because I'm recording.
Oh, okay.
So they can, if I figure out how to share a recording, then they can just look at that.
Okay.
The only thing is there a time limit, you said, on these meetings?
40
Yeah.
minutes.
Right, we must be about to hit that. I'm just thinking, if we get cut off,
45.
then,
How
yeah.
is it?
How long we been on?
45.
45. Well, it hasn't cut off
Have we?
yet. If it does cut off, I'll
Sometimes
just,
they like gift you more time.
okay. Well, if we get cut off, I'll send out another email with a new link. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
will the screen recording delete
No.
if
Don't
we
think
get
so.
cut off?
No, shouldn't do.
Okay.
Right. So let's go back to this. So we've got to figure out what A, B, and C are. Yeah. So what's the value of B? You there?
4?
2.
Eh?
2.
2? Where'd you get 2 from?
Is it 4?
You were pointing
Right. So,
at 2.
okay, that's A. So A equals 2. So what's B going to equal?
B, 4.
No, it's whatever's in front of the X. So B is 4K.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah.
And C, God, C is going to equal all that. That
All
is
that, yeah.
all that. Yeah?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, right.
So you substitute it in.
Yep. So B squared. So B squared is going to be 16K squared minus 4 times 2 times
Bracket the C.
2K squared plus 3K minus 11. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So now we're going to expand things and we get 16K squared minus, that's going to be 8. 8 times that is 16K squared minus 24K plus
Take away 88. Oh, plus 88.
plus 88 because you got a negative and a negative, yeah? And then we go down to minus 24K plus, shit. Wish I wouldn't do this bloody pencil thing. No. Plus 88, and that has to be greater than or equal to 0. Right, we're trying to find out the value of K, so we end up with right, now what do we do? If I know
Flip the
that,
sign and divide by 24.
yeah, so that means K has to be less than or equal to, is it 3.7? Yeah. Now, this is where we go back to the question, and it's asking for positive integer values of K. So what are the positive integer values of K?
Oh, I gotta do that thing in the thing.
You gotta put 3.7 back in the whole thing.
Right?
You could do it on the calculator, right? We did that time.
What? You want to do it on a calculator?
Can't you don't you have to put 3.7 back in?
What? No. Can you tell me what are the positive, integers that are less than 3.7?
I can't hear you.
How about what are the positive numbers, whole numbers less than 3.7?
Anything above 0 and less than 3.7.
So it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. K equals 1, 2, 3.
So that's the whole question.
That's it. Yeah.
They're so stupid.
All right, should we go to question 2? Yay.
Are integers always whole numbers?
Yeah, well, that's what they're asking for, I think.
Rational numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one.
Right, can you remember discriminates? So it's going to be pretty much the same thing, yeah? Remember? Oh. So we've got, where's that going to go? Oh, stupid thing. Where's it playing up? We're going to end up with x squared minus 10x minus 3 equals 0. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then we've got, remember for the discriminant, it's b squared minus 4ac. Yes, do we have to write that out? Yeah. So it's going to be negative 10 squared plus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, that is
-3.
negative 3.
So 100 take away 12.
Yeah.
100 plus 4 times -3 is -12. So 100 take away 12.
Yeah, so it should be 100. No, because it's minus 4ac. So what's the answer? If you stick all that in the calculator, what do you get?
Negative 112.
Negative 112?
So
No, no, the problem is this.
88.
Yeah. Because this,
Yeah, 88.
no,
10
this
100
is 100. Yeah. Because this is, sorry, this is not plus, this is minus. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I did a minus. I just did it on. I didn't do it in the calculator.
Yeah. So this
So
is
it's just
minus. So it ends up becoming
-12. Oh,
plus 12.
112.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the answer. Yes. Yes. So that's the discriminant of that quadratic. Right. Next one. Can you remember how to simplify these?
You have to find the bay. Oh, fine.
Right. So what do I do with that 3? That 3, what happens to it?
Goes in front of the.
Yes. Now what happens? What happens when you have 12 log u over log u?
12 over 1, so 12.
Done. Finished. That's it.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done. Next. This one should be quite easy because they've given you the formula, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've said P, we're looking at half the value. So that's going to be 24,990 over 2 is going to equal 24,990 times, what's the value of R?
The rate is 12%.
Yeah, it's
So
decreasing by
0.88.
T, yeah. So how do I get rid of that 24,990 on the right-hand side?
Divide it.
Divide it. So what do I end up with on the left-hand side?
Oh,
So what's half of
12,495.
what? Yeah, well that's 12,000 on this side, and then we're dividing it by that. So what ends up on the left-hand side?
Half. 0.5.
Yep. So 0.5 equals 0.88 T. Now what?
Divide, you have to bring T. Where?
So what do we do when we're trying to find a power that's unknown? What did we study in algebra?
You have to make a positive.
No.
No,
Starts with an L. We studied it at the beginning.
log.
Log. Right.
Okay. So we have to go log 0.1 equals log 0.88 T.
Now what
And
do we
then
do?
Put the T in front.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then it would be blah, blah, blah equals T in front of the log. And then how do I get rid of the rest of it?
Divide.
Right. So I'm going to end up with 0.5 divided by log. Yeah?
Equals T.
So what does T equal?
5.42. Is that right? Did it? No.
What? No. So log 0.5 divided by log 0.88.
Yeah, that's what I got as well.
What?
How did you get T by itself?
Oh, okay. So if you want to do
In
that,
front of.
let's go back. Get
Just-
T by itself. Yeah. I can, come on, you stupid thing. I can get rid of that and bring it down here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's T times log 88.
And then you have to divide it by.
Divide both sides, and
That.
I end up with T equals, log 0.5 divided by log 0.88.
Yeah, I got 5.7.
Yeah, 5 point. I thought someone was saying, was it 5.4? Yeah, something like that. Yep, 5.4. Yes,
So
that's the answer.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, and the only thing is, remember, whenever you're rounding, make sure you say you're rounding.
Okay.
Right. This one, you know how to do that, do you? Yes, please say yes. Yeah. That x equals 8 to the power of 2/3. Yeah?
Oh,
X
yeah.
to the power of 2/3 equals X. So X equals 4. Huh? Yes, please say yes.
Okay.
Yeah? Yes? No? Are you there?
Yeah, because you have to take the base and put it in front of it.
Yeah. So that's the base to the power of that equals X. Now,
Yeah.
this next one is a bit of a bugger. Well, not really. Do you know how to start it?
You
What
need
is it?
to
What does the formula look like? What kind of formula is it? What kind of equation? Starts with a Q.
Quadratic.
Yes. So if it's quadratic, what's different about this quadratic?
It's got logs in it.
Yeah. So the problem is normally here you'd have an X, wouldn't you? Normally it would be
Yeah.
6x squared plus 2x minus 4, yeah? But instead of x's, we've got these things, log the power of 8x. So what we need to do is assign these a variable. This is the unknown, yeah? So
okay. So
pick
finding a log.
pick a letter of the alphabet.
Q.
Q. Okay, so it's going to be 6q squared plus 2q
Q.
minus 4.
X.
Yeah, equals 0.
Oh, yeah.
What we're saying is
Using X is
these,
what we're finding.
yeah, what do we do? Q equals log 8x, yeah?
Okay.
Right, so stick that into your graphing calculator. Solve the quadratic 6q squared plus 2q minus 4. Yeah,
So that.
and it should say q equals something or something, or and something.
Hang on. 6, 2,
Zero
Hmm?
0.67 and -1.
Yeah, so it should be, yeah, -1 and 2/3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What do we? Now we know the values of q. How do we solve the equation? What's the next step?
Do we just put it into the equation?
Yeah. Well, what we're trying to do is find the value of that x. So how could we do that? If we know there's two values of q, how can we solve and find that value of x? Any ideas?
Put it in for over where you've written q equals log 8x.
Yeah. So it's going to be log 8x equals -1. Yeah. And that means that 8 to the power of -1 equals x. So what does x equal? What's 8 to the power of -1?
-8.
No. What's a negative indice?
1
Oh, right.
over
1 over. Shit. Yeah. It's
1 over 8.
Fraction. Yep. Yeah, so the next one is going to be 8 to the power of 2/3 equals x. So x equals, look, we did it up here. Yeah, see?
Yeah, x equals 4.
Done. That's it. All right. Next one. Next one's a doozy. So we're dealing with a ratio, yeah? Which means that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. The ratio, yeah?
Longest one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what else do we know?
The path outside is 1 meter wide.
So we know that is 1. Yeah. Let's just make it, yeah. So the width of that is 1, and the width of that is 1. Yeah, so it's all 1. And we're trying to find that twice the area of the path, or the difference between twice the area of the path and the area of the garden is that. So it's going to be 2p minus g is going to equal 2 pi. Yeah? You with me so far?
3 times the path equals.
Yeah.
2 times the path minus the area of the garden. I'm just assuming area of path is p and area of garden is g. So the 2 times p minus g will give me that. Now, we have to calculate the areas. Now, we're trying to find the value of that, aren't we? That hypotenuse, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, where a lot of people would go wrong is say, well, if that side is the unknown, let's just call the unknown x, yeah? But the problem is if you do that, then this side becomes a fraction of x and that side becomes a fraction of x. And it starts getting messy, yeah? So what's easier is saying this side is 5x, which means this side is 4x, and that side is 3x, yeah? So whatever the length of that side is, if we find x, the length of that side is going to be 5 times it.
All right.
Yeah? So now, here comes the fun bit. First, what is the area of the path? Yeah? So the area of the path, P, equals what?
5x plus 4x plus 3x.
Yeah, right. So we've got 12x.
Because times them by 1, but that wouldn't make a difference.
Yep. So we've got those 3 blocks because they're 1 meter
And
wide.
then-
Yeah. Now, how do we do the?
You've got to do the. Well, they equal a circle,
Yes.
and the radius is 1 meter.
Yep. So the area is what? If the area is pi r squared, what's the area of that circle?
Pi 1.
So that is just going to equal,
3.14.
just keep it as pi. So the area of the
Okay.
garden, of the path, is 12x plus pi. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So what about the area of the garden? Area of a triangle, it is,
12x over 2.
so 6x squared. Yeah? Half of that,
Mhm.
2x times 3x, 6x squared. Now, we need to find whether twice p minus g equals 2 pi. this is where we're going to go 2 times 12x plus pi minus 6x squared equals
Equals 2.
2 pi. Yeah. And now we've got to expand it. So this is going to be 24x plus 2 pi minus 6x squared equals 2 pi. And as soon as you see you've got x squared and an x, we automatically know that this is a quadratic.
Quadratic.
Yes. So that means we can rearrange it, and we've got minus 6x squared plus 24. And then
You can
we've got,
divide it by -6.
no, what do you do with the 2 pi's?
Oh, they cancel out.
Yep. So they cancel out, and we've got this. Yeah.
So
Now.
x squared plus 4 plus negative x squared minus 4.
Yeah, so we're going to factorize it, and you end up with 6x is x. Oh no, shit, x. It's going to be x minus 4. So x is going to equal. What does x
4.
equal? Eh?
4.
Yeah. Yeah. Or 0. That doesn't make much sense, does it? Get rid of these stupid boxes. Now, we're trying to find out the distance, aren't we? So if we know that x is 4, what's the length of that side?
Twa 20.
20.
Yep. So longest side is 20 meters.
20 meters. Okay, I got some of that, but I couldn't do that in the exam. Well, with the knowledge I have now.
Yeah.
They confused me.
Yeah, it's a lot of these. It's doing quite a few of them, and hopefully in an exam you get something that looks sort of similar, and you put one and one together and hopefully come up with 2. But yeah, these are the tricky ones. This is why these are the excellents. Yeah. But I'm sure, like, once you start realizing it's a quadratic, a lot of these things end up as quadratics, yeah. But it's also like a lot of people probably, if you didn't get that first bit, yeah, then you're sort of screwed all the way through. Right. Next, question 3. We're going on to our lovely parabolas, etc. So can you do the first one? Because remember, these ones you just stick in your calculator, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you just stick it in your calculator, press, it's just 12 minus 1 and minus 6 equals. So you stick it in your calculator, and what does it say?
-0.75, -0.67.
Yep. So Yeah, so 0.75, and what's 0.6 is recurring, it's going to be negative 2/3, yeah. So this one, quite straightforward, it's just x to the power of 3 equals 216. So you're just doing a cube root, you know that on your calculator? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cube root, yeah, and you end up with 6.
6.
Yeah, right. Next one, we got to get rid of these horrible things at the bottom, this 5 and this 2. So this is when we cross multiply. Right, you got me that far? Yes?
What did you say? It cut me off.
Right, sorry. So have you got this far? Does that make sense? To get rid of the denominator of the fraction?
Yeah.
Right. Now we expand brackets. So we got 8x equals 5yx plus 15y. Yeah? Now, here's the sort of tricky bit. We're trying to get x as the subject. So we're trying to get to x equals, and we've got an x here, and we know we can just divide by 8 to get rid of that. But we've got an x packaged with a y. Any idea how we can unpackage it?
Divide by y.
Nearly, but if you divide by y, then you're going to have a y over here. So I'll put you out of misery. You need to factorize. So to factorize, you're going to have to bring it over this side.
Oh.
Yeah?
Okay.
And then now you've got these together. Yeah? Now we can factorize. Yeah? Because they've both got the x, so we can do this little trick.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Now, we want x a subject, so how do we get rid of this 8 minus 5y?
Divide by 8.
15y by 15y over 8.
Right. Done. Finished. Yeah? Oh, can you remember these from last year?
Oh, kind of.
Right. So what does 9, 27, and 3 have in common?
3.
3.
Yep. So 9 is just 3 squared. Yeah. So 27 is 3 cubed.
Over the power of 3.
And then we got 3 is 1 minus 3n. Now, remember our rules? A to the m times a to the n equals a to the n plus n.
Counts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So we join these together. Oh, you want to do the next step, don't you? Sorry. That's going to be 3 to the power of, that's 16n plus 12. And that's going to be 3 to the power of 3n squared minus 3. and that's times 3 to the 1 minus 3n. Now, these two join together, don't they? So we end up with 3n, yeah, we're going to end up with 3n squared minus 3n, and then you got minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2, yeah?
Minus 2.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
because we got 3 to the power of that and 3 to the power of that, we get rid of the 3's, and now we've just got to solve this. So how do we solve that? We solve it because we see that.
Put it on the same
Yep.
side. Yeah.
And it's we're just
It's a
we're
quadratic.
solving a quadratic. You got it. Yeah. And then you stick it in your calculator and you get n equals 7 and n equals negative 2/3. Yeah. We good?
Yep.
Cool.
Mhm.
Oh, here's a doozy. All right. These are the ones that, yeah, take a bit of working out. So what first step is, you need to overlay some kind of graph so it makes sense. Yeah, if we've got 40, huh?
Let me go tell her.
What's that?
She's on the phone.
Who is?
Okay.
Sophie.
Oh, Sophie.
Yeah.
So rude, Sophie. Yeah. Right. Now, what we're going to do here is stick in our y-axis, yeah? So if that's y and that's x. Now, what we need to do, so we know that point, don't we? Because it tells us it's 3 meters above the road. So that point is obviously 0, 3. Yeah. What's this point? Do we know that? And this point, do we know that? Can anyone figure it out?
That the last one you did B.
Yeah.
What are you at? 10.
Okay, remember this is, oh, right, hold on. This is 10 meters, isn't it? So if that's 10 meters, this point is 10.
20.
Well, no, we don't know. It's 10 and some value of y, isn't it? We don't know. We just know it's 10 out. But this one we do know, don't we? Because if that's 40, then it's 20 out.
Yeah.
And how high is it?
12.
No. What does it say up here?
That's 15.
15. So that point is 20, 15. Now, what is the standard formula of a parabola? Y equals what?
mx plus c.
What? Yeah, no. A x squared plus c. Yeah? Do you know this? Yeah? Otherwise, look at page 78 of your book. Now, do we know C? If that's a parabola, yeah, normally it would cross here, wouldn't it? What does the C represent? Remember, C is when it goes up or down. Has our parabola gone up?
Yes.
By what?
3.
Yes. So this is going to be y equals ax squared plus 3. We don't know the value of a. Do we know a value of x and y?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got one out here. So we can say when y is 15, yeah, x is 20, and c is 3. Now, can we solve that?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's going to give us 15 equals a times 400 plus 3. So let's get rid of 3. We got 12 equals
0.03.
So a equals 0.03. Good. So now we have a. What can we do with it? Remember, this is the equation. So now we know that y equals 0.03 x squared plus 3. Does that help us?
Yes. And you can put 6 in for y.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Because we're trying to find the value of y, aren't we? We're saying when it's 10
Yeah.
meters away, how high is it? We're trying to find y. So we just stick 10 in here. Yeah. So you put 10 in for x, and y will equal 6. So the post, yeah. So you've proved the post is 6 meters high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So when it's 10 meters away, it's 6 meters high, and that's it. Now, this gets trickier. So this one, we've still got the same thing. We know that we've got that. We know that point is, what was it, 2015. We know that that point is 10.6. So what do we know about that point? Yeah.
It's the same, but further away.
Hmm.
It's 6 meters high.
Yep, so 6 meters high. So that means the formula for it will be
50.
Hold on. Annoying the hell out of me. Right, so that means this is, we don't know x, but we know that y is 6, yeah? So we have to find that x to start with.
50.
Um,
Can you assume that that's
It's
half?
half.
no, you can't.
Mm.
Now, we know the formula of that parabola, but it tells us that that is a parabola, yeah? So, because that's a parabola, that's its vertex, so it's going to go out here. So that parabola, how do we find the equation of it? If we, what's that point there?
0, 0.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's 60, 0.
No, that's 60.
30.
Thank you. So it's 30, 0. Yeah. So when we come to writing the equation for it, it's going to be y equals, we don't know a, do we?
No.
Yeah. Now, how do we figure it out? Before, remember the C gave us the up down. If we've had a parabola that has moved to the right by 30, how do we write it?
Something take away 30.
Yeah. So it's going to be bracket x minus 30 squared, and we don't have to worry about the C because it's on the x-axis. Yeah. Now what?
Now you can put that point from the old parabola,
Yeah.
the 2015.
Yeah. So we'd end up with 15 equals. Oh, wait, we've got to. Is it going to work just sticking it straight in? If that's 20 minus 30 and negative 10 squared is 100. Yeah, that works, doesn't it? So it's going to be A100.
0.15.
So A equals 0.15. Done. Right. So next step. Oh, my brain's starting to get cloudy. So we know the so we got the formula for that one is, what's it, y equals 0.15 x minus 30 squared. Oh, we've got to substitute in, oh, we're trying to find x when we know that y is 6. Oh, we've got to expand this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that going to expand to?
0.15x take away
0.15x.
Squared.
20.25.
Oh, no. What's, what does this expand to?
Oh, true.
So x times x, we've got x squared. That's going to be minus 30x. Minus 30x is minus 60x. And 30 times 30 is plus 900. And all that is multiplied by 0.15. So we've got y equals 0.15 x squared. What's minus 60 times 0.15? Will give us minus
Negative 9.
x plus 0.15 times 900 gives us 135. Right. Now, so that is the formula for the second quadratic. Right, we've got to solve for that. So you want to stick that in your calculator, see what it pumps out?
Not really.
Go on. My brain's starting to get fried. 0.15 minus 9, 135. Solve.
30.
30 times 2? What the fuck?
It says something times 2.
Well, I don't even know.
But what happened to our 6? Because y equals 6.
True. Yes. So if y equals 6,
Oh,
yeah, because that's the point. We're doing that. Y equals 6. So that becomes,
So it's 129. You put that in?
yeah, and that becomes 1.
36 and 24.
Okay, so x equals, let me go back. 129. Boom. Right. So we got 36.3 and 23.7.
6. Oh, okay.
36.3 and what's the other one? 23.7. Right, can it be both of those values?
It has to be higher than
No.
Which one does it? Remember those
23?
two? Yes, those two values is that point and that point, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we don't want that point, we want that one. So that's why we've got to take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it means that point is, the point 23.7, comma
7, 6.
So how long is CD? So CD equals 23.7 minus, what was the other one? 10.
Yep.
13.7. Holy crap, that was fucking.
How's your head? Mine's hurting.
I was hurting like the last question.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know. My brain, are we finished? Oh, we're finished. Shit. Yeah, that last one hurt. So do you think you could do any of that?
No.
Honestly, like in the exam, probably.
Oh,
I mean, like not. I mean, some of it, like the start part, but like not the ones that are really.
just remember, most of it is quadratics. You're just dealing with quadratic. Apart from, there's a couple of log questions, and that was about it, wasn't it? Most of it's just quadratics in one form or another. You've just got to look at every question and pretty much say, how's that a quadratic? Yeah. But that's the thing. We got loads of these papers, and we're just going to be practicing and practicing until you see the patterns. And once you see the patterns, you'll nail this.
Is this right here? Is this 1 hour?
Yes.
Very thick.
Well, how long did it take us? Hour and a half? What's the
And we
time?
only got.
Hour 40, yeah.
No, we've done, yeah, hour 40. Yeah, and at the beginning, we were doing lots of mucking around. Yeah.
I've got 2 together.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
kidding.
you got
I
2.
thought, because I was like, why is the same thing?
No.
Mum printed off like 4 of them then. Okay, that's right then.
So yeah, hour and a half, say, and that's yeah, that's the starting point. We'll do 2017 tomorrow, and I bet you will get it close to an hour and a quarter. And then the next one down to an hour. We'll get there. Yeah.
Is it easy to get achieved? Like, what if you
Yeah, no, achieved is
Like,
pretty
what-
easy. You think all
Okay,
you got to do
just
is
in case. Yeah.
you think you got to do what, one out of each, don't you? So like question 1A, that's really easy, surely. And question C, 1C, that was easy, because you can just solve them in your calculator. God, 1D was pretty easy. Then you get on to 2A, really easy. 2B, easy. 2D, easy. Yeah. Then we're on to question 3. First one, easy. It's in your calculator. A's easy, B's easy. Got C, rearranging fractions. That should be easy. Yeah. To get an achieved stroke merit should be pretty straightforward. Excellence is going to be a struggle, let's be honest. Yeah, especially with inside an hour to nail those. Like if you had 2 hours to figure out some of those excellence questions, yeah, that's one thing. But you're struggling, you know what I mean? Yeah, struggling to get excellence in an hour. But remember, you've got 3 hours to do 3 exams. So
if you need more.
yeah, well, you think you might go calc. I just want achieved in, so I'll spend 45 minutes on it. Where this one you might spend a bit longer because you think you can nail the excellence if you have time. Up to you. You'll have to figure it out. But we'll get a dry run in September, isn't it? Where you'll get to do 3 exams in 3 hours, I think. Let's see how that goes. Anyway, enough for today. Any final questions? No.
Oh.
No. So we can meet.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
What's that?
Oh, no, I was just wondering, since we're like kind of tossing between algebra and statistics, what do you want us to do now? Like,
Let's just focus on this algebra this week. Yeah, and Monday, I'm going to send you out the research questions for the stats. But that's just some background research. And Monday, we're going to start on calculus. And then hopefully we'll be back in school a week later. And when you get back into school, yeah, we'll tie up loose ends then. Okay? So, what are we doing? Tomorrow, period 5, which is 2:30? No, 2:10.
yes, no, 2:10, yeah.
2:10. What did I stick in for the meeting? I think I might have put in 2:30.
You stuck in 2:30.
Okay, should we change it to 2?
Oh,
2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Or what? 1:30? What works?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock? Okay, I'll change it to 2. Okay, people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Till then, see you later.
Thanks.
Cool.
Bye.
Try and do some of that
Okay.
2017. Okay.
Yeah. See ya.
Sweet. Okay.